Baldy, how is it going, my
Oh,
friend?
Zach. No, it's going good, guys. Sorry about yesterday. I had a misunderstanding, so I apologize for that. That won't happen again. But anyways, I'm good, man. I mean, the hay is in the barn here for week 3. Got all the games watched and downloaded and digested here, so I'm ready to look forward to tonight's game and really what's going on in week 3 in this league.
Well, I can tell you the Broncos are ready to move forward from what's happened the past couple of weeks. But before we move forward, Baldy, what has been the biggest issue with the Broncos offense? I don't think any of us expected the Broncos offense to be elite right out of the gate with the rookie quarterback, but I think we all expected it to be better than 11 points per game.
Yeah, well, they haven't gotten the run game going at all. I think it has to start with that. I mean, I think you have to find runs that that you can run against any front. And well, I don't care if it's Pittsburgh, who's got an elite defense, but I mean, you got to find plays that you can run the ball in, and they haven't been able to do that. I think that's the biggest issue right now. You can point to Bo, and all the rookie quarterbacks are struggling at some level right now, but I think that's kind of where the Broncos offense has really stalled. And I didn't think we would think that it would be this bad against Seattle and against Pittsburgh right now.
They're struggling running the ball, and then to add to that, they lose Mike McGlinchey for a couple of weeks. How much more is that going to hinder the Broncos' running game and their ability to kind of get things going?
Well, it's going to hinder it. I mean, anytime you lose a key player in that part of the game, it's the next guy up. Maybe we got to see what happens here, but I mean, you can't help it at this point. You're trying to build continuity. You got a new center in there right now, trying to get that worked out. He's not a great player. You're going to be as strong as your center inside, but they've got to. But all the guys, it's not really the individual players. It's how they play as a group, and I don't think they're playing well as a group right now.
I think one of the big problems, I guess, right now, and why Broncos country is in such a bad place, is because people got their hopes up in the preseason, watching Bo Nix play and watching the plays that he made. So from your perspective, what has changed so much from the preseason that has not allowed him to look like that?
Well, I mean, look at the interception. It's a 10-0 game. They're down there on, I don't know, the 6-yard line, whatever it was. But it's only second down. And here's Cam Hayward. It's right in his face. And I don't know, he's trying to be Tiger Woods, bending that ball around an oak tree. And never saw Calvin Trice. I mean, he's just looking for work. I didn't think the design of the offense was very good. The corner is just sitting out there. I mean, all he's got nothing in the flat. He's got nothing to worry about. He's just sitting in there reading the quarterback's eyes, jumps right in front of him. I mean, red zone turnovers like that. I mean, it could have been a 10-3 game if you just didn't do anything. So he didn't see that in preseason. He didn't see T.J. Watt coming off the edge. He didn't see Boye Mafe last week coming off the edge. And so he looks a little jittery to me. His accuracy isn't anything close that we saw in that, final preseason game. That's been disappointing. He hasn't been able to get the ball for the most part to Cortland Sutton. That's been a problem. And so the accuracy and then what he's seeing defensively right now. Pittsburgh, they're monsters right now. They're just winning games with defense. And so that's that. We knew that was going to change. I didn't think we were going to see it change to that degree. But, I mean, Caleb's been like that. Jaden's been very good, actually. And he's made some really good decisions. But I don't think his wide receivers are too thrilled. Terry McLaurin, has got, 5 or 6 catches in 2 games. They seem to be pretty frustrated. They can't get the ball to their number one receiver either.
Baldy, you've pointed at it today that the Broncos have to be able to run the ball better. Sean said the best thing for a rookie quarterback, really any quarterback, is a run game and good defense. But then you also say, the center's not playing very good right now, and the offensive line's only going to be as good as the center is. So how do you help a center out? How do you help an offensive line out? How do you get the running game going when it's been pretty disastrous so far?
It's been tough sledding. I don't know the answer to that question, Zach. I really don't. You look at Tampa Bay was the worst running team in football the last 2 years in a row. Nobody was as bad as Tampa. They go out and draft Graham Barton in the first round. Suddenly they can run the football. They can go to Detroit and get good runs. I mean, he's a great, great individual talent. You look at the Miami Dolphins without Connor Williams in there and what they've got, and Aaron Brewer now, it's not the same. You go around the league and you look at teams that are struggling at the center position. Even Cushenberry's playing very well in Tennessee right now. It starts. And because, these teams that are playing a bear defense that are stopping, trying to stop the run or contain it on first down, you got a nose on top of you. If you're not getting some movement, at the point, the cutback runs aren't going to be there. You're not going to get your guards up to the second level. Center's not going to get to the second level if he can't get movement at that point, at that position. And so, they're doing the best that they can right now. Maybe they're going to improve technique-wise, and I don't know, but I think it kind of starts with their ability to lift guys off the line of scrimmage and get movement.
Baldy, we've been talking a lot about the offense, but I want to talk about this defense for a second. I feel like the defense is in a tough position. They've been playing pretty well, but if they don't play perfect, then we're completely out of the mix. I don't want to say things are starting to fray, but as far as timeline, like how long until guys are like yelling at the quarterback, yelling at the offense, like, hey, we need some help, man. I don't want to be out here for 70 plays a game because you guys can't move the ball.
It's so true. I played in Philadelphia with Seth Joyner and Reggie White and just a group of great players. And when our offense stunk it up, like we heard it from the defense, Randall Cunningham, it happens everywhere. Like you can't stop the split. What you hope is that it's still early. There's so much football to be played. They got off to a terrible start last year and put a 5-game win streak together, and the defense fueled it with taking the ball away. So, if I'm on the defense right now, I'm saying, we need, where's Jaquan McMillan this year? Where are the playmakers right now to, start getting their hands on the football? Like, look, I know Pittsburgh didn't throw a lot. They got one ball down the field to Pickens maybe, but, for the most part, I would say this early in the season, I would hopefully have them looking in the mirror going, we got to do more for our offense. We got to get better field position. We got to start taking the ball away. And they did that during that 5-game win streak better than anybody in the league, and they got back into the race. So hopefully they're looking in the mirror and just saying, there's a lot we can do from our end right now with a rookie quarterback and an offense that's struggling.
All right, let's try to look on the bright side a little bit here. On either side of the ball, what have you seen the Broncos do well so far that they can kind of hang their hats on and maybe build around as the season goes on?
I think you got to go to the defense. Zach Allen's playing great football. Yeah. Jared Cooper, like that group is playing well. Singleton never comes off the field. I think the safety play has been sound. Like they're not giving up huge plays. I think you got to just keep it on the defense right now. And you just got to hope that, that Bo, because you can only throw so many bubble screens and stuff. Like they're just sitting on those things right now. That's tough. They got to start, there is play action. There is max protection. There are speedo routes. Like you can try their best to get one or two explosive plays that can just flip field position. So you're not sitting there in the third quarter with a goose egg. You're at least getting field goals. They got to start flipping field position right now and getting some chunk plays. You get a chunk play on any drive, no matter where you start the drive, it generally leads to points in this league right now. But you can see all of the metrics, all the passing is down in this league. The what is up is teams, have been terrible against the run. The running game is up. You look at the Chargers, you look at the Saints, you're looking at teams that are playing good football. They're running the football really well. And that's the difference right now is, teams are struggling in the passing game, especially with these rookies. But, you look at Arizona and what they did last week. Look at the way that James Conner and Kyler, look how they ran the football. I know Marvin went off, all right, and we knew that was going to happen eventually, but they ran the football down the Cowboys' throats. And Cowboys looked helpless to stop it.
Baldy, last one for you. You mentioned the Bucs earlier. That's, of course, the Broncos' next opponent coming up. And on paper, the Bucs are a really weird team. They are a great scoring defense, great scoring offense, but the yards don't line up with that. What is the way the Broncos come away with this game and beat the Bucs? How does this happen?
Well, they went to Detroit last week, and Jared Goff threw 18 incompletions, and I haven't seen pass defense like that in the league yet this year. They defended 10 passes, and that was without Antoine Winfield Jr. If you look at their corners, they're all Patrick Surtain, Zion McCullum, Like all their guys are huge.
Yeah.
They put this kid Christian Itzen at safety last week. He gets an interception. He looked all world. They've got a lot of young players, and they kept that Detroit offense to 16 points. And then Baker has basically been mistake proof at this point. He's playing the best football he's ever played. And last week they fed Godwin. The week before it was Evans. This rookie Jalen McMillan is a stud, and the offense line is playing great. So they're a very difficult team to beat. Their pass defense, though, them and the Saints, they look to be the best in the league right now at way that they're just defending the pass.
So what I hear from that, Baldy, is the Broncos are going to pull off the upset. That's right?
Yes. Exactly when you don't have a chance, that's when it happens.
Right, exactly. That's the great thing about the NFL, and we love having you on, Baldy. Thank you so much for your insight.
My pleasure, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, see you, Baldy. Thanks for joining us.